Hello. So, yeah, sorry it's been so long. I had a few things going on. I had a bit of a disaster. My computer crashed off of the side that it was perched on onto the floor and broke. And I had to take it to my friend Ryan to fix it. But luckily, Ryan is a genius and managed to get it to go again. So, after that, I decided to completely rearrange what room I was in and, yeah, like all of the house to make sure that basically now I'm in a completely different area of the house with a lot more room. And that's good because now my computer's not at risk of falling off. So thank you, Ryan. And yeah, now that's done with, I've actually got a bit of a better setup. Yeah, I did. One thing I want to talk about, first of all, is isolators. I've been buying these isolators. I'll show you some pictures here. These have been a little bit of a godsend because where I was connecting computer to interface to amp and using like connections backwards and forwards, I was picking up a lot of noise. So utilising these little things has been great because what I've been able to do is splice them into the appropriate type of cable that I need to connect to and decouple all of the devices from each other's earths and stop ground loops, which has been amazing because it's made the recording a lot easier to do. So yeah, these are a thing that I highly recommend investing in. You get 2 per pack of these ones on Amazon, and also these little mini TRS ones, the 3mm jack isolator. It's the same thing, just in a cylinder, and easy to use with these sorts of connectors. So that's good. They have been a real big help. What else has happened? So, yeah, I want to talk about reamping because I've got these isolators. I set my bass up to have completely nice intonation as well to record a bass line, and I did that here. But what I did, I recorded it dry straight into the interface and recorded it just using the pickup I wanted to and nothing more. And what I've done is in Color I've routed it so that the bass output, output 1 and output 2 is disconnected, and output 1 from Ardor goes to the physical output on the air, on the M Audio Air, where that is connected to via a via a isolator that's connected to the amp's input, and then channel 1 of the interface is connected back to what I'm calling bass amped. Let me just bring that to the front. Yeah, it's called bass amped, but it basically is everything that's happened to the signal through the amp re-recorded back into Ardor. So at the moment we haven't got any output for the amp itself in the master audio, but it is included in a hardware loop that goes outside of the machinery. So yeah, basically now what I'm going to do, so basically in a minute what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the bass line that I've recorded in here, and it's going to play all the way through, send the signal out, and then it's going to return back into this track called bass amped, which is armed to record. But before I do that, I want to show you a few other things. So this area here is the editor list. You can get to it by going to view and choosing editor list. See, look, I've just made it disappear. Now I can make it reappear. Bosh. This is really useful because it has this visibility column, and you can turn off things that you're not looking at right now. Let's get the monitor up. So I'm going to press Alt and M to get the mixer up, not the monitor, the mixer, sorry. What are we looking at? So I've got buses here for the percussions. So what I've been doing as well, if I've got like a track for the kick, say, I've been splitting it into its left and right components using buses. So if I just turn these 2 buses back on, and then we have a look at the mixer again, now you can see these. So this is the left and the right of the kick. So if I set it to play, what you can see as well is that I've got the This is the left-hand side of... So the signal comes from this thing here, this track here. And I can prove that by showing you the routing table. Now the routing grid is useful sometimes because it can show you where everything's connected, and that's a really useful way of looking at it. And a lot of people are actually more used to this than the Carla way of doing things. Now for me, I like Carla's sort of like thing, but yeah, it does look a bit messy, I give you that. So yeah, some people prefer the routing grid, and it's there it is, you can use it if you like. And what I've done here is I've got the output for it going to the kick L and kick R buses that I've just created, and then on them they've each got their own multi-band limiter, really just to make a little bit of difference between the two. And I know it's not too important to do that on the kick because it's a bassy thing anyway, but if I show you the master, right, go away. No, don't quit, that's not what I wanted at all. I want this to go away. Right, okay, so where's the master channel? Or is it at the end? Oh, there it is. Okay, I got this little stereo phase scope. That'll show you how good we're doing in the lefty-righty plane. So yeah, that's on some of the things, and that's using is that using a Hus delay? That might be using a Hus delay, or it might not actually be using a delay at all and just using the thing. I can't remember now. I've actually been a while since I looked at this file. But it might not actually be using a Hus delay. No, it doesn't look like it is. It's just using these limiters to get a different thing going on in each side. Well, compressors or limiters I might be using. It depends. But yeah, it's these buses that I'm doing things to. So if I then show you again, the snares got one, the hats have got one, the toms have got one. Let's turn them all back on. There they all are. A lot of them haven't got much going on, which is why they're not switched on. A lot of them don't even need those limiters, to be fair. But yeah, this is the whole thing. I think that's the whole thing. Yeah, that's the whole project. But yeah, so that's basically what I've been doing. I've been splitting apart my tracks using buses to get more control over them, and I've been able to use that to affect the stereo spread, which has been nice to do it. And it's not been using those Hus delays that I was using before. I mean, not that there's anything wrong with those. I just wanted to try different methods, and that's done it. Oh, yeah, so I think that's all of that. I need to then just record this dry bass line into this reamped thing. So I'm going to set this to record, put the thing back to the beginning, not the end, that helps, right, and then with any luck the settings that I've got. Oh, the other thing is that the amp itself has got a button on it that chooses pre or post fader output on its line out. I was fiddling around with the EQ earlier, wondering why nothing was changing, and it was because I hadn't pressed that button. So if you've got one of these Mark bass amps, be aware you might need to press that button for it to do that. So yeah, anyway, I'm gonna see where we'll go on with this recording. Okay. It seems to be alright. I had a bit of trouble with it last time because it clipped, but I seem to have got it a little bit more sensible now. compare that to that. So that's like that spiky. They do look different, I think, anyway. Yeah, so, oh, the other thing I wanted to talk about really was, well, that's recording. If you want a plugin and you want it to be good, just when you search for a plugin, just search for, if I show you, just open your thing and just type in LSP, because you've got all of these and there's so many of them. But if you want one with a nice interface that's easy to use, type in LSP and look at this, you've got all of these things. These are all from the same group of plugins and they're really, really nice to use and they're good. So yeah, I recommend typing LSP before you're trying to find whatever particular type of plugin it is, and you'll get one of these really cool interface ones that looks, you know, like this. But it's not going to let me. See, look at that. How cool does that look? This is the LSP look and feel. We've got other things. There's a compressor. That one's not doing anything. That one is. But yeah, you can put them on the tracks themselves. You can put them on the buses, which is what I've been using. So here, for example, on the hi-hat, I've got a slightly different amount of limiting going on from one limiter to the other. Well, these are quite similar actually. Probably not the best example. Well, the kicks one's definitely working. Those have definitely got different effects going on each side. So if you look, I've got slightly different profiles on the limiting curve, and the only reason I did that was to just get a little bit of wobble going on. Seems to be doing it all right. So that's a couple of little tricks. This is coming to the end of its recording now, which is going to be nice. We'll be able to hear what that sounded like. Let's get rid of this. Right then, so if I put that back to the beginning and press play, I can now probably mute this one. But it won't matter because I got it here, all reamped and ready to go. Now the question is, was that any better or any worse? And that's where mucking about with it's going to be still a thing that I need to be doing. But yeah, hopefully that showed you a few tricks. So yeah, just to recap, we're using isolators to connect all our devices together to stop ground loops. We've got a few of the tracks split into stereo profiles left and right using buses, and we've got different plugins running on those. We've been reamping, because we've been able to do it with the isolators we've got, from the dry signal that I recorded earlier on into the amp. The advantage of recording a dry signal and then reamping later on is you could record the perfect performance, and then once you've got the perfect performance, you can put it through an amplifier. You can record it dry, and then you could go to a studio, and if they charge $500 an hour, then you're going to only need to pay a quarter of that, because you only need 15 minutes with their nice amp and a few microphones, and press play on your performance, and boom, you've got your recording. So yeah, reamping is a thing. And also it means that you can send, it's not just amps that you can do it with, you can send your digital workflow out through your physical items and then use those, which means that all the stuff you got sitting on your shelf you can still use in your mixing, which got to be nice, surely. And then you can look at second-hand shops at getting some stuff. I managed to find some real bargains in second-hand shops, or thrift stores they call them in the US. But yeah, like, second-hand shops are great for musical equipment. But yeah, I recommend getting the isolators. They're cheap as well. You could get an expensive one, or you could go with these cheap ones that I've gone with, or both, because you can't really go wrong with these. But yeah, anyway, have fun. Hope this has been a little bit of a helpful video. Anyway, take care.